Hello, hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I am your host, John Harris, and today on the Rock Metal Podcast, we have OSYRON. And they've got a new... Now, you called it an EP. I'm calling it an album. There's a lot of tracks on this thing. What are you calling it, Krzysztof?
Oh, this would be an album, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely an album.
Okay, groovy. New album called Kingsbane Deluxe Edition, which is also, there's a note on it, remixed and remastered. And releasing on May 14th. Actually, by the time this episode airs, might be around that time too. So that's awesome. Cool. Yeah, we're being joined by Krzysztof to share some more information about this release and what the band has been up to since they were last on the show. So for anybody listening in, go ahead and go to our website, therockmetalpodcast.ca, search up OSYRON, and their previous episode will be available. So Krzysztof, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me back. It was awesome last time around, so it's always fun to come back.
Beautiful. Good to have you on the couch. And I guess my first question is, what have you guys been up to since the last release? Because a lot has happened between...
Yeah. So obviously, the one thing we're not up to is playing shows, obviously, because you can't do that. But we did take full advantage of trying to get a bunch of videos done. So actually the last release, since we released it, like the physical album drop, in the meantime after that, we released a video for every song on it, which is kind of new for us. We've never done that. And then we decided to do this remaster of Kingsbane, just because we now work with like a bigger marketing PR company, and they really felt the style of Kingsbane would do well in like their kind of main market, which is kind of the North German, kind of Scandinavian market, Northern Europe. And yeah, we agreed. We thought it was an excellent record for that kind of market to really get out there. So we just remixed it, remastered it, and then 3 of the songs we redid basically as bonuses.
Okay, so many big honking questions I have for you, Krzysztof.
Awesome.
Is this the Celestial Agency?
Yeah. So it's we're working with the Celestial Agency, and then we're also working with a company out of Germany. Actually.
Okay. I was going to say that the Celestial Agency does not sound Deutsch enough for me anyway. No. But what do I know? Okay. So take us through that. How did you guys end up in their hands? They obviously know your catalog, so. Were they fans? Yeah, so the way it kind of worked out, actually, it was through the Celestial Agency. She's kind of she is our manager. And she kind of runs that agency on her own. So she's our manager. And we were basically just at the point where we wanted to kind of reach out for further marketing and PR stuff. And she found them through their work with other Canadian bands. And we got in contact with them, and they really liked us. They instantly really enjoyed our music, and we worked out an agreement with them, and they're kind of just helping us get our music, like I said, out there in like kind of northern Central Europe, and it's been really great actually. Like I manage kind of our Spotify artists account, and like our numbers over there have like 1,500% increase in like that area, so it's nice. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's almost like you've become the Viking and you're going over there.
Yeah, exactly. I got the beard for it, so I just got to braid
it. Of course. I'm going to come in with your smoked salmon. I was trying to remember the gravlax. There it is. You're going to come in with your gravlax.
Yeah, what's what is on a bagel? It's like something else or some shit.
Lox.
Lox, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of the lox or the gravlax or the smoked salmon?
I am, yeah. When I was a kid, I grew up in Ontario, and I would do a lot of salmon fishing during the salmon run when they go upstream, and we would smoke salmon like every month of the like fall winter months. I got smoked salmon, so I dig.
There are a few things that make someone feel truly Canadian, and I think what you just described there.
Yeah, I remember too, just to get on the topic of like super Canadian too, we went fishing one year in like November. It was like snowing, and like I was like a kid, and I had like just hip waders, and I was in like chest deep water chasing fish because apparently I'm stupid. It's like rapids, and I'm like running in there. Didn't even know how to swim, but I was like, I'm gonna catch all these salmon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I may be an immigrant, but I'm Canadian as fuck. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, the mosaic, baby.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Because you're here, the picture is a little more complete, Krzysztof.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Gotta get that.
I actually got a tear in my eye right there with that one.
Perfect. I love it. That's what I want to do. I want to inspire crying.
Exactly. Cool. So you've also mentioned a couple of other things about management companies and whatnot. Now, actually, kind of live on the air here, I'm going to ask you, and obviously you can forward this off or whatever, but I know of an Italian label that is looking for a band such as yourself. So if you're interested in getting a more formal deal, obviously I'm not handing you a deal. You would have to talk with them. They would have to review. You have to work out the contract. But I can get you a fast track if that's something that you are interested in. So let me know.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll do. I mean, information is always good to have. So you may as well just send that along. Yeah, it's always good to have that kind of stuff.
Okay. I will do that.
Awesome.
Groovy. Now, I guess my big question after that is remixed and remastered. What was it about the album from 2017 that you guys... Did they ask for a remix remaster, or did you guys listen to it and go, ugh?
Well, so it was more so, I guess, we've always been... we were happy with the way it sounded ourselves, but we did, when talking to them, there was like, and talking with the Celestial Agency, there was certain things that, they felt could be like, I guess, improved upon. And the fact is too that, 2017, 4 years ago, in that time, like Tyler, our bass player, he's also our mix engineer. He's gotten way better as well. He mixed foundations as well. And Cody, we added him to the band. He's a drummer as well, but runs a home studio. So he's also a mix engineer. He handled mastering. And we just felt we were in a place where those tracks that we had, we could like really lift them up to the next level, because Tyler's mixes have gotten like exponentially better. And especially on like the 3 retracked songs, we kind of rewrote them, rearranged them, and then Cody played drums on those kind of things. So it was kind of like having him on that album as well. And then he mastered the album. So it kind of made sense. It's especially with the pandemic and not being able to get out and play. We're writing a full length right now as well, but it just made sense that we could do this, to kind of keep music going out and keep relevant, because you have to do that. Unfortunately, you can't not release music, right? So you can't play shows. You got to be pumping out the music.
Mm-hmm. That's right, baby. You got to keep moving. Got to keep grooving.
Yeah, that's right.
Speaking of which, you guys mentioned something about 3 songs. Is this Viper Queen, Griefmaker, and Razor's Wind?
Correct. Yeah, those are the 3 that we redid.
Okay. Take us through these tracks. Why these 3? Were they the previous singles?
No. So actually, the real single of Kingsbane was Kingsbane. And we did like a big music video for like this giant production. We had like, all these Viking reenactors and this village and everything. And like Viper Queen was actually the song, it's kind of like the odd one out on the album. Every other song kind of has like repeating themes, because it's kind of it is a concept album. So it's got like repeating themes, or we go back and like repeat a melody or a phrase in a different song or like a section. And Viper Queen didn't have any of that. And it's the only song that doesn't appear in like the intro symphonic track, because it's so like weird and out there. But live, like everybody loved that song, because it's like up tempo. It's got like a little bit of thrash, and as you know, like Western Canada, it's like all about thrash kind of metal here. So it kind of fits in really nicely, and people just loved it and gravitated towards it. And even my fiance at the time, when she first heard Viper Queen, she made this comment to me that she didn't really like get it on the album, but when she saw it live, she was like, "Oh, it's like a whole new level for the song." And it's honestly a lot of fun to play live because it's so fast. And we just decided that for Viper Queen, we wanted to.
Okay. I think we're good. Krzysztof, you there? Oh no. Krzysztof, baby?
cleaned it up, and I think this arrangement of it is a lot better.
I apologize, Krzysztof. Right in the middle of that, I received a phone call, and then that went to my laptop, which is recording this call, and then Skype froze. Would you mind, if you please, repeating all of that glory? Or actually,
I can.
Is your fiance the Viper Queen? That's kind of one of my questions. And then and then the other part of it was, so live, people were getting the song, but recording they weren't. How many bands listening in right now get that statement? And how do you fix that?
So I think, I guess that's the first one. Actually, so she isn't the Viper Queen because I wrote that song before we had actually met. But the Viper Queen is just like this fictional character in the story. Because the whole Kingsbane story, I like. If I had the attention span to write a book, I would, but I can't. So that was kind of my story writing, was the Kingsbane album. But yeah, to the mention or to the question of how many bands get that comment about a song being better live, I think tons of bands do. And it's usually not the songs you think. Because when you write a song, and you like listen to the whole album, you'll have an idea of like what the single should be. Like this song is going to be amazing, and then another song takes off, and then you're kind of like looking around. You're like, fuck, I didn't see that coming. Like, I never felt that song was good, but then like here it is. It's like, everybody's favorite song. It's so weird.
Yeah. So is that what happened with Viper Queen? You guys thought, whatever, we'll put it on the album. It's filler, and everybody was like, but that's what makes this a cheese sandwich, is that, I'm not calling it cheese, but for some reason a cheese. Yeah. I think it's because when I made breakfast this morning, I was like, should I put cheese in my eggs? And I didn't. And I kind of wish I had.
It now.
Yeah.
Always go with your gut. Always go with your gut.
That's right.
Yeah. No, so I think yeah, like we knew it was a strong song, but we knew like kind of stylistically and thematically it was kind of the odd one out. The other songs kind of, like I said, since they have these repeating sections, they fit a bit better, but we didn't think it would like go over well live just because it's very long and stuff, and especially people like short songs. But no, it really did well, and then we had so much fun playing it. It's kind of stayed in our set even up until like last year when we played like our last show. We still played Viper Queen. So yeah, it translates really well live, and we also, to kind of get that more intense feeling, we actually upped the tempo of the song. Which it doesn't sound like a lot. It's only like 5 BPM faster, but like it's all 16th notes. It's like there's one riff in there especially that's like it's like the wrist mangler. Like you get like the whole like lactic acid build up, and like by the end of it you're like, oh fuck, you're playing it live. You're like, God, I'm just glad it's over.
Got to put an ice pack on your wrist when you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, talk about a Griefmaker, baby.
Yeah.
No, Thank you. But no, it's crucial. Like I'm currently working with some friends on a music project, and we were debating on the tempo between 3 BPMs. We started off at like 125, and then we were like, nah, like let's make it 130. No, too fast. Okay, and then we start going down one at a time. We get to 128, and we're like, perfect. Then we hand it off to the singer, and the singer's singing, and we're like, man, she would have so much more room to bloom if we slowed it back down. So, tempo.
Yeah, exactly.
Tempo's crucial, baby.
It is, yeah. It's small adjustments can make like the difference between like like something big and heavy, like a Sad But True, or like an Enter Sandman.
Yeah,
it's totally different. They're in the same ballpark and just
and. Have you ever heard the original demo of Sad But True at the original tempo? Yeah.
Exactly. Not the same song. Not even close.
Nope. Not at all.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of great songs, Kingsbane, you said it's a concept album, and I'm incredibly ignorant about this album. So take me through the concept of this album, Kingsbane.
Okay, yeah. So it's basically like it's kind of like that every... story. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of like Joseph Conrad, but he wrote a book called like A Hero of a Thousand Faces. Basically, any story in the Western language is the same story. There's always like one protagonist that does the exact same stuff. They have the same challenges, and it's like cyclical. Mm-hmm. So that's the basis of the story. But I was kind of like reading that concept, and like I had an idea for a story, and I kind of applied that to it. But it's basically a guy inherits some kind of like little kingdom. and there's like a bigger king that's like a tyrant, and he's like killing people and all this stuff. And this guy feels like, even though he himself isn't much of a warrior, he's kind of like duty bound to go and like fight this guy, right? So goes through all his like trials and tribulations. Like eventually along the way, he meets like this Viper Queen, right? Has an alliance with her and all this kind of stuff. So that's kind of like how she gets involved, and then eventually he takes on the different mantles of like reluctant warrior to now he's like out there in Griefmaker, like, you know, he's basically ruining people's lives, but he's doing it for the, you know, the righteous reason. And then towards the end of the album, like, he realizes that there is no real righteous reason to go start killing people. You're someone's enemy no matter whose hero you are, kind of thing. And then once you're in that position of absolute power, right, you have the potential to become the next tyrant.
I just want to say that from like a power metal standpoint, you've said almost every single thing you need to say. Duty bound, reluctant warrior, righteous reason.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But I guess on the flip side, we do have the added stuff that the guy has a realization that none of that shit matters, and you're still evil if you think you're doing it for the right reasons. You're killing people.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Exactly. I'll throw in the word sword and shield.
That's right. That's right.
Good.
I think we might even say sword and shield. We're not a power metal band by any stretch, but
I know.
Yeah, I think we do say sword and shield on Griefmaker. But yeah,
beautiful. Recently, this is kind of funny, but somebody I work with did not know who Hammerfall was, and I thought, what? So I showed them my personal favorite Hammerfall album, and yeah, they were blown away. Went into
Which one is your personal favorite?
What is it called? It's the one from like 1999. Actually, no, I was going to say Freddie Nordstrom produced it. He produced most of their stuff. This is going to be embarrassing. What is it called? I'm going to look it up right now as I embarrass.
Like I said, we're not a power metal band by any stretch, but like Hammerfall, when me and Bobby, the other guitar player, when we started the band when we were younger, like we listened to tons of Hammerfall. It's just, you know, like good catchy melodies, like cool riffs, cool licks.
Yeah.
Obviously the music or like the singing is like over the top and ridiculous, and yeah, they sing about dragons and like, you know, Crimson Thunder and shit. But
yeah,
it's fun. It's fun stuff. When they came through Calgary, we went to see them. So they played at Dickens.
You have to.
Oh yeah, you got to see Hammerfall, man. You can't not see Hammerfall.
Yeah. Legacy of Kings is my favorite album.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
Sweet. Okay. Is there anything that we missed? What else do you want to chat about? You guys are working on a new album, so take us through that.
Yeah, so we're doing a follow-up, just all new original music. Because like I said, yeah, we did Foundations, we did the Kingsbane kind of deluxe edition, and then we started work immediately on the next album. And we're kind of aiming to get it out at the start of next year, obviously, because once again, with the pandemic, kind of like your schedule is elongated again. Like there's not going to be probably live shows. I think Alberta's going into lockdown this week or like today or something. There's not going to be live shows for, you know, the foreseeable future.
Ever.
So we have to basically ever. But like it's you have to do other stuff. So we're doing the next album. We're going to try to kind of up our social media game. Maybe have more like weekly vlogs as we go kind of thing. Kind of the same approach to videos. We're going to be doing either DIY videos or working with a couple of the video guys that we've worked with previously. We've been very lucky there. We've worked with 3 amazing video producers, and they're all Alberta, Calgary kind of area guys, and they do just awesome work. So, yeah, that's kind of the plan there. And this one will be a full length. Foundations was an EP. The next album will be, you know, like 10 songs. And hopefully it's like exactly 74 minutes, so you can't burn it on one CD or something.
That's right.
Yeah, but we still have that goal. We have this goal of writing that like 25-minute song. So maybe this time we'll see.
Maybe this time. You got to get the tempo right, so I listen for all 25 minutes.
That's right. Exactly. Especially for a song like that. If you want people to stay with it for 25 minutes, it's got to be, it's got to move. It's got to rise and fall.
Yeah.
Or just do 25 minutes of blast beats. And then
there you go. Being Canadian, we are home to one of the best like 25-minute songs ever, 2112 by Rush. That's
true. That's right. Yeah, and Neil Peart just passed away recently too.
Mm-hmm.
Big sorry day for that. That was a very sad day.
It was. It was very.
I was basically just I had brush on all day that day.
Wow.
Yeah, I love them. They were. I've never had the chance to see them live, and obviously now I won't be able to. But yeah, when I was growing up, like I loved that band. They were awesome. That's why I like weird shit, like weird time signatures, just because like, you know, Russian Dream Theater and stuff, and you're just like, why not play in like 5/16 because fuck drummers, I hate them.
Yeah, exactly. Play. That guy can play. He's human. Get going.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got 24 hours in a day. Get going.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right.
It seems like, well, not cool, but it seems like the death of Neil Peart really affected you.
Well, like, I mean, you know, I guess anytime like someone that to you is like an influencer, iconic, like passes away, that's going to be like, I mean, obviously I never met a lot of the people that I like that have passed away, but I mean, they affect you, right? Like their music, his lyrics, like he's like the main lyricist for Rush. And I used to be more involved on the lyrical side with our band. Since Reed joined, he kind of took the reins, and that's awesome for me. But like, you know, every now and then I'll still write lyrics to a song and kind of have them sitting around. So someone like Neil, his writing like affected me greatly. Yeah. So yeah, like I mean, you know, it's sad, especially knowing like I believe he died of cancer, which is like the worst way to go, right? It's, you know, everybody should die asleep and happy in their bed, not, you know, riddled with a terrible disease.
Well,
anyways,
yeah, I hope to go that way. I'll let you know how it goes, though. How peaceful it is. I wonder if that's just bullshit that they tell you so that you. Oh no, he didn't even know it happened. Well, ask him. How do you know he didn't know it happened?
Yeah, it might be. I mean, honestly, it could be the scariest thing. We don't know. We only go through it once, so hopefully once. I mean, you know,
some people go through it at least once, Krzysztof. They have those near-death experiences where they die for 30 seconds on the table and they come back.
That's true. Or they OD like the David Mustard Stains of the world.
Awesome. So, Krzysztof, we chatted about a year in review, chatted about Viper Queen, Griefmaker, Kingsbane, Remix, Remastered. We chatted about the PR agency in Northern Europe that's helping you guys to expand into Northern Europe. You guys released a video for every single song. Guys are planning on, we're not planning on, you're in the middle of making a new album, which is very exciting. We chatted about salmon fishing. We chatted about the Cultural Mosaic. We chatted about Neil Peart. Is there anything that I missed while we wrap this bad boy up?
I guess we can briefly chat about Razor's Wind. It's the third redone song, because there's an interesting, I think, reason for that one. So I'll just go into it, I guess, if that's cool.
Go into it.
Awesome, yeah. So Razor's Wind, we decided to redo actually because like growing up, our other guitar player Bobby, like he's Irish, lots of like Irish folky influences and that kind of stuff. And Razor's Wind had all these very big folk elements, and we just wanted to basically redo it as just a stripped down acoustic version. So it's like a lot shorter. A lot of the heavy parts are gone, and it just allows like these really cool kind of Celtic folky melodies that Bobby had come up with kind of really shine in that setting. And, you know, Reed sings on it and stuff, and it gets like this very cool, like ocean kind of sailing wayfarer like feel, and it awesomely serves the song. It's like totally reimagined, but it sounds amazing. So we were super excited to do that. We've never done a fully acoustic song, so that was very neat to do.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's a question I have. You mentioned thrash. Now you've just mentioned folk, but you're not power metal. So
yeah, well, so
what do the magazines call you?
We actually, it's like we don't know what to label ourselves, because like I said, we wouldn't be power metal, but we wouldn't be thrash, but we wouldn't be folk metal either, or symphonic metal, or progressive metal. But it's like we have elements of everything, so we're kind of like, it's kind of hard to like strip that. Like genres are very good. They're good for information. If you've never heard of a band, you're like, oh, what genre are they? Oh, okay. They're symphonic metal, and then you go listen to them, and you're like, "This isn't symphonic metal. It's like this other kind of metal with like symphonic elements." I like so. Yeah, I don't know. Like we could be, we're just Canadian metal. That's it.
Boom.
Yeah, that's it. That's the sound of Canada. It's everything rolled into one.
Exactly. I'm recording a bunch of interviews today. I've got a couple Canadian bands. One coming out of Kitchener that, I don't know. I guess they're a thrash metal band. I don't know what you would call them. I have to ask that question too. Are you guys just Canadian metal? Are you post-Canadian metal? Are you Canadian metal, Canadian core?
Post maple syrup, pre-beer metal.
That's right. Good.
Good as any.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast then today, Krzysztof.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for chatting about OSYRON.